in IATF 2018 is exactly that. For states or provinces or counties, whatever they are called in every African, that have sufficient autonomy to come to Durban and explore opportunities for financing, investors, to have a sub-sovereign exchange of, as with other sub-sovereigns, maybe then the discussions around resources from the center will reduce. That's your platform for what you're looking for. I think there was also a question on the creative fund and why it's underutilized. I think one of the things we have to do with the creatives that I mentioned is also capacity building, even training in business, in business management to be able to produce bankable projects. But it will also help me, let me at this point talk about the project preparation facility of the bank. While it is not exactly related to the creatives, it's also a facility that we've introduced to support African projects and provide funding for them to become bankable. So it's a development facility to help develop projects so that they become.
I have a question about that. Can you just illustrate the type of support when you say to make them bankable? What type of things do you do? Like to fund feasibility studies?
Yes,
or what do you
mean?
To
fund feasibility studies and all sorts of technical studies required for projects.
Right.
So that they can become bankable.
Right.
You know, so particularly with the creatives, that they need to be able to also to have capacity to provide transactions that banks can support. So that we have some work to do. And in terms of creating more awareness about the fund, a creative and cultural industry strategy is focused on film, music, fashion, art, and crafts. Okay. We have received applications, it's just that some of them have not been able to get through the grind, and that's why I talk about capacity building in certain areas. And also to say that it's also not just a fund for financing. People here in the room in the music will know that we have been supporting capacity building in the master classes in the music, in songwriting. What we've done is to unbundle that value chain or the ecosystem to support those who know how to write songs. The reality today, unlike in Hollywood or musicians in the West, is that the person who makes the money in Nigeria is a singer. But we're partnering with a gentleman called Vincent Berry. He's a Grammy Award winner who has written a lot of Beyonce's songs, creates a master classes for songwriting. What we have done, as many Nigerians have participated, we've done, since last year, that has been going on in various regions in Africa. In fact, one of the songs that was produced in the Anglophone West Africa, Tell Me, is about to be published. If it does get published, every contributor to that song, will get some of the royalties. So we'll create more awareness about the fund. We need more training as well on business business courses, so to speak, and packaging of transactions for the creatives. But we understand today we have a film. That's why I said that we have already disbursed to a producer that is well known in Nollywood. We have a film production facility. We have music production facility as well. There was also a question on logistics and SMEs. I wanted to say that we also have what we call an export trading company initiative. The export trading company is the fulcrum. I think Mr. Wallow also mentioned it in his speech. It's a fulcrum to support SMEs. It is not every SMEs that can cross the borders to export. Some of them don't have the capacity to do that. It's even expensive, and it may be not the scale. So what that export trading company, which Nigeria is also championing, we're also developing a lot of programs around it, is to ensure that we have export trading companies. We are facilitating the emergence and the expansion of those that are available that can go and handle the export, aggregate products from small producers, whether industrial producers or agricultural producers, and then be able to export. The fact that all this Ghana must go back, I hate to use the word Ghana must go, bags that are being used to buy woodin from Ghana in small, it's not really efficient. And that's the role of an export trading company. We're also working on logistics in the area of mobility overall. Railway infrastructure is critical. Maritime is critical. We are supporting some corridors, even in Nigeria as well as in the West African region. Railway, partnering with various railway stakeholders. I like to use them more comprehensively to support railway corridors, to support also road corridors, but also air and maritime. We all need all the modes of mobility to work, but in particularly railways.
All right, we have some other questions. There was a question around how we leverage. I wonder if, Olivia, you may want to speak to that point, because you've had some measure of success. Adenike was asking, how do we leverage the opportunity? I imagine she's thinking about where our business is at now, and she wants to scale. No, just go ahead. It will come on.
Okay, so it's important that if you have the intention of scaling up your business, distributing across Africa, you would also have to, as an entrepreneur, prepare yourself for it. Like before we started exporting to other countries, we tried to read some government policies in those countries where you're exporting to. What does it look like doing business? Like there are some African countries you cannot do business as a foreigner. You must have an indigent to partner with you to be able to scale up the business in that country. So as you, as an entrepreneur, you're able to read up some policies that applies to the countries that you're targeting. You're also preparing your facility to be ready to meet up with the demands that will be coming from those countries. But there's one thing I want to emphasize here. Most people think that passion is good enough to keep you in business. I believe that your compassion, the solution that you're creating, is what really drives you. Because when we started the business, it wasn't really this booming. We kept, pushing. There are places where we were told no, but we didn't give up. We kept pushing. So I say that passion fails you when there is no profit, but the compassion that you have. So when I look at those girls who will suffer when I don't provide them access to sanitary pads, I don't give up. So I keep pushing. So when you go to when you try to do certain things as an entrepreneur, you definitely get some no's and some yes. When you get those no's, let your compassion, those people who you are creating solutions for, let the compassion drive you to keep going. But most importantly, prepare yourself. Because there are times when you get to those places or the positions that you try to find yourself, and you find out that you're not ready. Like for instance, in a couple of months ago, we had a lot of orders that were so alarming that we had to start our third line. Like production had to be for 3 times in a year, like 24 hours, not having the machines running down. We weren't prepared for that, but we're actually, working on advertising, making some connections. So as much as you're making your connections, try to also find a way to, scale up your production so you can meet up with demand.
Thank you for that. Okay, if you can keep it really brief, thank you.
For most businesses, you must understand the power of networking. So one of the things that Chamber of Commerce will provide, and all other trade associations, is to give you position you with other SMEs that may have done something similar. They say experience is the best teacher. It doesn't have to be your experience. To a large extent, the experience of others helps. So you need to be able to be in that place where you can learn from others who have done it. Like she said, so if somebody has gone to Ghana and is doing business with Ghana, so find that person. What are you doing? How is it being done? So learn from others. Establish your business networks. That is so important as you think of scaling.
Thank you for that. There was also a question about reducing the cost of production. In a sense, I think that was addressed to the NEPC. I wonder if you want to react at all to that question about how we can bring the agencies together, the customs and other agencies, to make for those who are. Okay, thank you for that, sir. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Sorry?
Who? Yeah.
I want to speak to the issue
Okay,
of
please go ahead.
infrastructure. One of the things that will support infrastructure and industrial development is setting up industrial parks and especially processing zones. And in those parks, if you go to places in other parts of the world, you see the customs there, you see the quarantine, all the services there. And it's
Right.
also one of those things that we're working with the Nigerian government. For instance, we are supporting the Eyimba City park, to set up. What then that means is that an SME, a producer, can just plug and play. You don't have to deal with the issues. That's how success. And what have you?
Okay. I wonder if I have more time to take another round of questions. But I know that our time is already... Okay, since I'm not getting any signals, I think I'll go back to the audience. Please, can we take some questions from this side? I think most of those who want to ask questions are here, obviously. Okay.
Good afternoon.
Please, very briefly, because we are already...
My name is Ayorinde Ejoye. I'm the co-founder of Gide Group. We're a real estate and investment and construction company. Now, my question goes, a panelist was talking about the issue of trust. And you also mentioned of a manufacturer in Kenya going to New Zealand to get his hide instead of coming to Nigeria. Now, my question is this. How do we build trust between African countries and SMEs to promote intra-African trade? Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. I think we have more hands there. Please, can we go to the gentleman in... Okay, there's a lady here. Please go.
Okay, my name is Foluke Alakija. I'm Managing Director of Missing Middle. And my question is to Kanayo. I'd like you to expatiate more on the Africa Quality Assurance Center in Shagamu, because I believe that will be a game changer for a lot of SMEs that do non-oil export and their goods get rejected out of Nigeria. Thank you.
All right. Keep.
Hello. My name is John Owachimogo, partner with Ernst & Young. So my question is, it seems in terms of trade, particularly in the advent of AFTA, that the focus has been so much on trade in goods. What is being done from a trade in services standpoint, particularly given that this is a new driver of growth? And right. If anybody who've tried to travel around Africa can attest, it's quite an undertaking. So I'll be interested to hear what's being done in that regard.
All right, great question. Please, we have a gentleman at the back here. Can we go to him?
Okay, my name is Obonnaya Ogu. My question is, our comment is being addressed to the man from Bank of Industry. Yes, I've heard him talk about billion or trillion that has gone to SMEs. We hear these things, but I don't know. Sometimes it's like when you hear that there is a lotto or something somewhere, a promotion going on somewhere, you hear that 50,000 people have made it. And you go around, you know millions, and you have never had one person or seen one person. I don't know where this money is going through. I'm an ex-banker of 20 years. I major in risk management, credit risk management. And coming out from the banking industry, I went into farming, catfish, to be precise. I even smoke it, sometimes send it out. Trying to raise money, okay, maybe Bank of Industry or Agriculture, any of them can help. But for Bank of Industry in particular, anybody or any attempt I make, all I hear is you need to know somebody that will connect you, and I also hear that sometimes maybe if you borrow 10 million, you get 7 million and 3 million goes somewhere. Which is like what our brother was told in Norway, right, that they have to go for corruption training. I think they have to go for corruption training. Right. But that is for another day. So, sir,
thank you.
Please tell us here Because all these things we are talking about, going to Africa and going to Europe, we are hungry in Nigeria. We can't even produce. So many things are wrong. I wish the Inspector General or Police or Chief of Army Staff are here to also answer questions, because we can't produce to send to any other place when we are not safe in Nigeria.
Right.
Maybe apart from Lagos here that we can walk around.
Okay.
So please, the man in Bank of Industry, tell us how to go about getting this loan. I'm interested.
All right, thank you. Let's take one more question. Yes.
Hello, everybody.
Yes.
My name is Stephen Ade Tomiwa, the president of Apple Security, a Nigerian American industry. Thank you for this reorganization today. I'm very, very impressed. One thing that we've alluded in this our discussion today is about security. Everybody have with all the business, and we've not been able to discuss how we secure our asset, how we secure individual asset. We've seen many farmers going from one place to the other that are being kidnapped on their way to the farm, or either in the farm, or either from their position of authorization.
Right.
So as an expert in the security industry, and I want to make sure that we have a clear analysis how all industry here today or representative here today can protect their asset, right, so that we can have a valuable business. Otherwise, we'll be having a sunken cost, and sunken costs go to empty barrel.
Thank you.
So thank you.
All right, thank you very much. We have to wrap up, so I'll go to Kanayo again. Most of the questions were posed to you, maybe starting with how do we build trust. I really need you to help me to make it relatively brief, so please go ahead.
I know he alluded to the reference I made to Kenya and Nigeria, but that's not an issue of trust. In your business, you have to build your trust between a buyer and a seller, and you use instruments that will promote trust if it is not there. It's not a national issue. It's not an issue of a country. If you're interested in trading with another African business, you will build the network and the trust by the way you conduct your business. And in trade finance and trade services, there are instruments that will help engender trust where it doesn't arise, so that there are no losses. The issue I was raising was an issue of lack of access, the dearth of trade and market information about people not knowing what their neighbors. We're not used to, because of our colonial legacies, not used to looking across our neighbors. We are wired to look abroad. And so this is a platform to promote trade and market information, where you can come and get information about what your neighbors, what other African countries are producing. Some don't know where to source raw materials. They don't know where the markets exist. They don't know what the rules of trade are, or the regulations, or even the partners to use. So that was the response, that was the inference I was making to Kenya and Nigeria. Information, lack of information. Let me ask Foluke on Africa Quality Assurance, the center. When we conceived this initiative, it was because we actually met with a Nigerian exporter of ethnic products whose goods were continuously, he does 200 at the time, about a couple of years ago, $200 million of ethnic foods. Many times those foods, a year, were being rejected. This is African foods. He's a wholesale, wholesale trader who distributes across the North America. And then we also said and then studied and realized that many of our products, especially in the agricultural sector, were being rejected anytime they were shipped, due to lack of conformity to international standards. And then we decided that we needed to do something about it, and that's how we started piloting it. The Ogun State project is in partnership with Bureau Veritas, and to focus on the agricultural sector, but that's not the only one we're proposing to do in Nigeria. That was just the pilot program that we have. So it's ideally is for quality infrastructure is to ensure that we have the standard of our products that are going overseas or being sold intra-Africa are of a certain quality such that they are not rejected wherever they go, to just limit the reduction in rejection, to reduce the rejection of our products abroad in simple terms. We're also considering other ACACs, we call them Africa Quality. They're just testing, inspection, and certification centers. They're laboratories. We're also considering others across. We're now studying in what other sectors. We need them in the oil and gas, we need them even in textiles. We're considering what other sectors through that study, which is going on right now, to introduce other quality assurance centers in different parts of the country, but also across the continent.
Thank you for that. There was a question around trade of services. I wonder if anyone would like to speak to that.
What was the question now?
That there's a big focus on trade of goods, but within the context of the African Common Free Trade Area, what about the trade of services or export of services?
No, there's no concentration on trade of goods. There's goods and there's services. Under the AFCFTA, the protocols that are being negotiated right now are goods and also services. Services include tourism, business services, transportation, among others. So it's not, the focus is...
I recall he was from Ernst & Young, so perhaps that's one of the reasons he's asking the question.
No, but there's no concentration on goods.
You want to say something?
Yeah, exactly.
Leo?
Now, it's a focus on both goods and services. As a matter of fact, services is one area that we believe Nigeria has a very strong competitive advantage. In the financial services, for instance, our banks are all over Africa. There's the fintech aspect of it as well, which we also have a very strong presence in that area. So services is very key and fundamental. Payment systems, being able to do cross-border trade and all of that, you need all of that to be able to be effective. So the focus is on all of that. Bank of Industry works with the National Action Committee to drive after. And this is one of the areas that we focus on very heavily as well, trying to promote trade in services and all of that. And that's one area that Nigeria has a strong competitive advantage, and we're driving it.
Okay, thanks for that.
Thank you.
You want to say something?
Yeah, I just want to add that with regards to trade in services, as I said, indeed, the second or third part of the agreement has to do with trade and services. But the key to effective trade in services is intellectual property. And I think if we are to do anything in Nigeria to enhance our capacity to trade in services, we need to work on this intellectual property. Our ability, and this is also not just for the financial sector and the management sector, but also, I think, the creative sector. We need to strengthen the protection of intellectual property, because at the end of the day, that is what you're selling. And I am sure Ernst & Young has been acting in this area for some time. So clearly, there is need to focus also on what we need to do to enhance the already highlighted advantage we have in terms of trade and services. Our banks are over there. Our management services are indeed all over, across the world, even beyond Africa. But where we have setbacks is sometimes our inability to protect our intellectual property. Thank you.
Thank you for that. Coming back to you, you are on the hot seat now. Bank of Industry, you have been charged of not allowing everyone to get loans. So please, can you defend yourself? Very briefly, if you can, please.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Something that needs to be robustly defended, because it is totally a complete misconception. The bank has disbursed over $1 trillion in the last 5 years. Where did it go to? It went to various sectors, both MSMEs as well as large enterprises. It's all there. In various sectors, the agro sector, the creative sector. Bank of Industry actually was the pioneer in financing the creative sector. We financed not just the infrastructure, which is the movie studios, the production studios, we financed the content. Even the movie theaters that you go to today, most of them, I would say about 90% of them, are financed by Bank of Industry. And now we are moving on to streaming. You know, a lot of movies that you're seeing on Netflix, for instance, are also financed by Bank of Industry. So when you say you don't know where the money went,
I recommend a connection at some point.
I'm not finished. There's another aspect of what he said, you know. There was another aspect where he kind of alluded that maybe there's some kind of underhand dealing going on in the loan process. That is absolutely wrong. It's totally wrong. I can tell you for a fact that Bank of Industry will not ask you for a kobo, for a dime, for whatever loan that is granted. We have people on this panel, not just even in the audience here, we have people who are beneficiaries of Bank of Industry loans. On this panel, I don't want to name names for confidentiality
we know
reasons,
some of them.
but if you want to declare yourself, by all means, please do. They have also benefited. And I can tell you that not one dime was asked from them. In fact, I met one of the panelists today, and when she introduced herself and the company, I said, oh, I know the company. It turned out that I approved the loan. This was my first time of meeting her. So you don't need to know anybody in Bank of Industry to access your loan. You are asking how to access the loan. It's very easy. You walk into a Bank of Industry office or go to our website. There's application guidelines, everything. It's all there. You go there, you apply. We will walk you through the process and everything. If you are an SME, we will actually put you in touch with a consultant that will work with you. That consultant is being paid by BOI, not you. We tell them, we give them milestones. When you help build the environmental study, do the feasibility study, the business plan, all of that, bring it to the Bank of Industry. If we get approval, we pay them based on milestones. You get disbursement, we pay. You understand? So you don't even have to do anything. We will help you.
Thank you.
And that is how Bank of Industry has been working. I would encourage you to watch our show, BOI Impact, every Sunday and every Monday. It's available for about 30 minutes. It picks each and every industry that Bank of Industry has supported, each company, and it showcases what has happened. So you can see where all your money is going. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. Okay, there was another question about securing assets. I wonder if, maybe Ken, from your experience, because you are in the oil servicing space, and we know that those assets have been under attack, in quotes, over time. So what do you have to say to that?
Well, I say that the security business is one of the businesses I say it's a lot of arbitrage and blackmail, which should be avoided. And so if you can walk through the integrity space and be honest about what you want to do, you can. So we've had a lot of situations where fields cannot produce because of security. So when we do investigation, we go close to the issues. It's not complicated. You address them, and within the cost of business, it's able to be covered. But many times, and I can't talk much about the current situation the farmers are dealing with, but when you come into the oil industry, we believe that protecting the Nigerian waterways is the responsibility, constitutional responsibility of the Nigerian Navy. And if people are partnering with the Nigerian Navy, fair enough, but it's not very appropriate for the country, right? But most of the things that have incentivize insecurity are things that most entrepreneurs know, and where they don't know, it's sensitive, but I dare say there's no insecurity around where we operate that cannot be dealt with when you're honest about and look through it. And of course, speaking from what we normally do, so in the oil sector can be addressed. the new farmer situation is something that is a national concern, and I believe the government is taking the right steps, and of course there are good security companies that are also quite aware and taking steps to help farmers. But it's tough. It's tough. So
it is. Well, thank you for that, and thank you for the insights. Ladies and gentlemen, please, can you put your hands together for our panelists? I think it's been quite enlightening, very useful insights, information you can use to make some valuable decisions for your business, I'm sure, and we certainly look forward to taking all this to KwaZulu-Natal, Durban, South Africa. Thank you so much. All right, I did say, however, earlier that there is a request I want to make on behalf of, now earlier when we took the photographs, unfortunately, I think maybe because of the information I provided in terms of taking a break, she left the room and she wasn't here. I'm going to appeal to those who came forward earlier to please, if you can, and we can quickly take those photographs again. My apologies for that, but we want to make sure that we accommodate Maude. So please, Mr. President, I'm still using the big P, not the small p. Please, if you don't mind joining us on the stage. And also, Mr. Awolowo, if you can also join us. Your Excellency, please.
You look at him standing there.
Say it again?
For the promotion.
Right.
What to do is to have a panel, take a picture.
She needs a
Okay. So
Yeah.
obviously we're going to take the photograph for the panelists,
Final.
but I was thinking we should also
Do you
bring
really
them on
want to
stage.
do that?
If they do not mind. Like I said, I'm doing it. But okay, please, if we can have the panelists step forward so we can take a photograph.
I don't think you need to.
Yes.
You give me your card. I didn't even know.
I got your contact, so I'll just beep you.
So I've been talking to, thinking around the business when I have.
When you have 18 countries.
I know. I'm talking about.
So I'll beep you. I have your card, so I'll just send you a message. Yes.
Please, another round of applause for our panelists. I think that was an excellent interaction, very valuable indeed. All right, so as we move on now, we are beginning to wind things down. Lunch is served, so we are going to feed you, so have no concerns about that. But before that, I would like to now ask that you turn your attention to the, well, before that, I just wanted to also recognize a few people who have joined us. All right. One moment, please. All right. Okay, so I did mention earlier that there are a few people I would like us to just recognize, we thank you for joining us. Starting with the First Lady of Edo State, Mrs. Betty Obaseki. I understand she is with us. Thank you so much for joining us. Fortunately, I cannot spot you in the room, but thank you so much because I know you are with us. The subnationals are very important in our bid to move this conversation about intra-Africa trade forward. We also have the CEO of the Nigerian Export-Import Bank also with us, Mr. Bello. Thank you so much. You are welcome. These are all partners of Afrexim Bank in moving this conversation forward in terms of intra-Africa trade. Okay, so as you can see, we do have some light entertainment for you shortly, but before that, as I mentioned, there is this video that I would like us to turn our attention to. We've talked about the automotive sector, and the next video will tell you more about how that links to the intra-Africa trade fair. So can we have the video, please?
Time in Africa's proud history, the inaugural year of trading under the African Continental Free Trade Area, the dawn of the single market era for goods and services across 55 countries. The Intra-African Trade Fair, IATF 2021, is being held in Durban, KwaZulu-Natal, South Africa. From the 15th to the 21st of November 2021, public and private sector leaders and captains of industry from across the continent and beyond will gather to exchange trade and market information and explore investment opportunities to unlock Africa's full potential under the conference theme, Building Bridges for a Successful AFCFTA. No other event will bring more professionals, traders and industry players together under one roof or do more to boost Africa's trade. IATF 2021 is expected to facilitate trade and investment deals in excess of $40 billion by attracting over 1,100 exhibitors, 5,000 conference participants, and more than 10,000 visitors and buyers from across 55 African countries and beyond. Among the attractions, the IATF Automotive Show, incorporating the Automotive Exhibition, the Automotive Forum, and the B2B, B2G, offering participants unrivaled scope to meet, trade, and seek opportunities in Africa's automotive sector, the automotive market's final frontier. Be there to connect with continental and global buyers and sellers across the full range of interests and to maximize your market share in a sector poised for exceptional growth in the African Continental Free Trade Area. To be an exhibitor, sponsor, or speaker at the IATF 2021 Automotive Trade Show or Automotive Forum, send your inquiry today to customer service at intraafricantradefair.com. IATF 2021 is brought to you by Afrexim Bank in collaboration with the African Union and the AFCFTA Secretariat and hosted by the province of KwaZulu-Natal and the Republic of South Africa with the support of our official event partners. At this moment.
Okay, so there you have it, some information about the automotive show. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to appeal to us to please take our seats again. We are not done. We still have quite a bit coming up before we break for lunch. Please, if I may appeal to our guests, especially those in front, please, if you can take your seats. I know there's some networking happening now, but you will get that opportunity in a moment. So please, if you can take your seats. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, please, can you take your seats, please? Thank you very much. So I can introduce the next speaker, please. Please, can you take your seats, please? Please, please, if you can all take our seats, so I can introduce the next speaker, please. Can we take our seats, please? Ladies and gentlemen, please, I really need you to take your seats so we can proceed with the program. Thank you very much. I would like to introduce our next speaker. If we can take our seats, please. Ladies and gentlemen, I really need us to take our seats, please. Thank you very much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, there's a small change in the program. So right now I'm going to invite the Creative Nigeria cameo. We've heard a lot about CANEX in respect of the Intra-Africa Trade Fair. So we're going to get a little more of that creativity on display here. So please welcome this next performance by the Creative Nigeria cameo.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, you're about to see what you are here for today. Trading within Africa. What you just witnessed is a traditional mode of marketplace. When we trade within, there's always insecurity. Another thing with it. But when we look inwards, our culture says, working together, eating together, trade along each other for a better Africa. Today, we are uniting Africa with dance. Can we just sit down and enjoy it? lovely dance from Cameroon. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Koroso Dance from Northern Nigeria. Now this is Zulu dance from South Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome our people from the South. It's called Agene Zebo Dance. Yeah, we are one Africa. Whether you are from Togo, South Africa, Ghana, Ethiopia, Egypt, we are one Africa. Let us come together and make it work in Africa. Yeah. Thank you so much. We are one Africa, whether you are from Togo, Egypt, Ghana, Nigeria, Ethiopia, from the east to the west, to the north to the south, and to Central Africa, we are one. Let us come together and make Africa better.
All right. Very well done. Thank you so much for that Creative Nigeria cameo. All right, I am sure if you're like me, you're hungry, but we still have to get through some business. Again, I want to just reiterate that if you are interested in those B2B meetings, you can still let us know right outside at the registration desk. I do know that some meetings have been scheduled already, but if you would like to meet any members of the teams at the Afrexim Bank, please just indicate. All right, so next we're going to have a video. So still staying with the theme of creatives. We've heard a lot about Canex. Let's have the video. Do we have the video? Can you just indicate to me if we have it, or do we have to come back? Can't see you. Katie?
Africa's soul is creative. Our music is our heartbeat. Our movies are our vision. Our fashion is our being. Our words are our voice. Our art is our future. Africa's creatives are rising within a mobilizing economy, ready for investment and growth. The Creative African Nexus, brought to you by Afrexim Bank, will take place in Durban, KwaZulu-Natal, South Africa, from 15 to 21 November 2021. With over 3,000 participants from across Africa and the globe, Creative African Nexus will be the largest gathering of creatives, policymakers, investors, funders, financial and government leaders that Africa has ever seen. The future of African creativity is here.
Right, please, another applause for that. Now, I don't know if you took away, that learning from the panel conversation where we had Olivia share her experience about attending the first Intra-Africa Trade Fair, and has made such a remarkable impact on her business. So I'll say, if you are a creative, do your best to be in Durban. All right, so a lot has been said. I think we've done a lot to convince you, to make you realize why you need to be in Durban. But if you need further convincing, our next speaker will like to deliver, if you like, a call to action. He is Papi Luzala. He is the Commercial and Government Affairs Manager for Africa at Red Exhibitions. So Papi, please, a round of applause for him. Convince us further.
Thank you, Wally. Thank you very much. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I know we are pressed by time, I'll be very quick with my presentation. I would like to acknowledge the presence of some of the dignitaries present, especially the General Counsel from the South African Embassy here in Nigeria, and of course our Managing Director and the EVP, and other distinguished ladies and gentlemen. As I said, as Wale said, my name is Papi Luzala. I am the Commercial Manager for Africa for the organizing company called the Reed Exhibition, and I'm based in Johannesburg in South Africa. My presentation will be basically projected in some of the screens in the room. I'll be very quick. I know people are very hungry. IATF is indeed Africa talking business, and then we would like Nigeria to be very much part of it, because Nigeria is the largest economy in Africa, so we cannot have an intra-Africa trade, such an event without Nigeria being present. As you all know by now, IATF is being promoted by Afreximbank in collaboration with the African Union and the AFCFTA Secretariat based in Ghana, in Accra in Ghana, and of course with the host country being South Africa, the province of KwaZulu-Natal, and the whole city of Durban. IATF 2021 team will focus on the team building bridges for a successful AFCFTA. IATF is the key event boosting trade in Africa. No other event brings together more professionals under one roof. In 2021, IATF team will focus on the newly launched African Continental Free Trade Area, AFCFTA, a single market for goods and services across 55 countries aimed at boosting trade and investment in Africa. The first edition, as you all know, of IATF took place in Cairo in Egypt in 2018. In December. It was a successful event. Some of the outcome that came out of the first edition or the inaugural edition of IATF, that we had over $32 billion including investment deals that were done during IATF 2018. We had over 2,500 participants in the conferences, as well as over 45 countries that were present and over 1,000 exhibitors. Of course, when you do a project well 1 year, you want to do better in the next year. This is exactly what we're trying to do with the next edition of IATF taking place, as you know, in Durban next month. Our projection for IATF 2021 are that we're expecting over $40 billion US in trade and investment deals, and over 5,000 conference participants, and over 10,000 attendees, and over 55 plus countries. And of course, we're expecting over 1,000 exhibitors in the second edition of Intra-Africa Trade Fair. I just want to zoom in when we say 55 plus. We, of course, aiming to have all African countries present, but more so, Africa has developed a lot of trade deals with trade links, I should say, with a lot of partners across the world, and we're working with a lot of them, such as Russia, China, and other European countries that will be present at IATF 2021 in Durban, in South Africa. IATF will take place over 7 days. We prefer to call them 7 unforgettable days. As you heard the testimony from Olivia, by taking part in the first edition of IATF 2018, she expanded her business across the continent tremendously. IATF 2021 will run non-stop for 7 days with expert sessions and speakers, live performance like the one that we just witnessed now, and parallel list of exhibitors and some very special cultural highlights. Some of the key components of IATF 2021, or we prefer to call them the vertical for IATF 2021, include a trade exhibition, or an exhibition in short, trade and investment forum, Creative Africa Nexus, a B2B and B2G networking opportunities. B2B stands for business to business, and B2G stands for business to government. IATF virtual, country days, IATF youth startup, IATF automotive session. I will go through some of these virtual that we're expecting to at IATF 2018. Of course, with the exhibition, we're expecting to have speed network sessions during IATF, during the exhibition component of IATF, B2B and B2G meetings, pre-scheduled appointment between the buyers and sellers, online and on-site business matching, and hosted buyer program. The Hosted Buyer program is a very, very important program that we're running at IATF 2018 because we do understand that participating in an exhibition, particularly for the exhibitors, it's quite an expensive exercise. And to make sure that, of course, it requires exhibitors to pay a lot of money to acquire stands, as well as travel expenses and accommodation and so forth. In order to maximize the return on investment for our exhibitors, we're running this special program called Hosted Buyer Program, where we are identifying some of the key captain of industries across Africa, some of them even across the world, that we are sourcing to come to IATF and to have meaningful B2B and B2G meetings with our exhibitors. And some of them have strong, in fact, all of them have strong purchasing powers, and they cover pretty much all the sector that will be present at IATF. And most importantly, if you are a Nigerian wholesaler and you purchase a lot of your product, not only across Nigeria or a few countries in Africa, and you would like to expand your reach in terms of sourcing product across Africa, you can contact me after my presentation. We can have a discussion to see how we can invite you as a buyer at IATF 2021. When we invite you as a buyer, of course, we take care of your flight and accommodation. And what we require you in exchange is basically to have a diary full of appointment with our exhibitors that will be present at IATF 2021. Another key component or vertical for IATF 2021 is the Trade and Investment Forum. The IATF 2021 conference agenda will focus on the theme building bridges for a successful AFCFTA, recognizing the growth opportunities for intra-African cross-border trade and investment. The conference will feature dedicated sessions on trade and investment opportunities under the newly formed AFCFTA. We had some very, very beautiful performance earlier, and we had the video just earlier on about the creative industry in Africa. It will be big during IATF 2021, under the theme Creative Africa Nexus. Showcasing Africa's creative industry, it will include a focus on music, film, fashion, art and craft, Creative Africa Nexus Summit, a dedicated creative industry exhibition, deal room, a creative impressions will also feature during IATF 2021. Visitor and exhibitor alike will seek work from the finest creative minds on the continent. You can get inspired, you can get excited and see how their vision could create a connection across Africa. Country Days, very important vertical for IATF 2021 as well. The Country Days features allows selected African countries to showcase and promote their trade and investment opportunities along with the tourism and cultural attraction for one day at IATF 2021. IATF, of course, we have put aside 6 country days. So far, 4 of them has been taken, of which South Africa, as you can see on the map, the host country will have the first day for country days. Of course, Nigeria also, like in 2018, has been selected as one of the countries to showcase Nigerian investment opportunities, and most importantly, what we have witnessed earlier on in terms of the cultural and tourism aspect of Nigeria. We have Cote d'Ivoire as well as Ghana. These are some of the other countries that are taking part in country days. Automotive, IATF Automotive, our managing director has made it clear that we cannot have an industrialization of Africa without a strong automotive sector. Therefore, during IATF 2021, there will be a strong focus on the automotive sector, and it will pretty much be an exhibition within an exhibition, showcasing Africa's automotive industries. They will have dedicated auto exhibition, automotive forum, B2B again, and B2G networking opportunities, and so forth. IATF Youth Startup Program. This is also a very important deliverable for IATF 2021. The Youth Startup segment will have a dedicated pavilion where they will showcase their goods and services. IATF 2021 will provide plenty of opportunities for matchmaking with venture capitalists, entrepreneurship training and networking among the youth and other delegates. So if you are a youth, you have a startup, IATF is indeed a platform for you to come and showcase your product and services and meet up with some of the key captain of industry that will be present. IATF Virtual, this is another innovative component for IATF 2021. IATF Virtual is an innovative and cost-effective platform to promote, educate, and sell your product and services to a larger audience of key players. Some of the benefits for IATF Virtual would include because IATF Virtual is already operational. It brings together exhibitors and visitors from all sectors. It will provide a year-round platform for attendees and non-attendees alike to connect in real time. Showcase your product and services, track every lead, interaction, and inquiry, discover product and services from all over Africa and the world. The cost is very competitive, $750. You have access for about 12 months. Oops, excuse me. IATF merchandise. This is also a very important element that we brought to this edition of IATF 2021. It was, of course, it's also featured in 2018. With the IATF merchandise, we would like our participants, our stakeholders, our partners to really, embrace the brand IATF by, for instance, like you can see on the screen, buying some T-shirts, some cell phone covers or bottles with the IATF logo on it. Of course, it's an e-commerce platform. You can go to www.ecommerce.intraafricatradeffair.com to procure some of these products. And of course, some of these products will be available at IATF in the next month in Durban. How can you participate in IATF 2021? Of course, you can come and see me after my presentation, but most importantly, some of the options for you to participate in IATF include you can be an exhibitor, you can be a sponsor, you can be a delegate, or you can also just come as a visitor. What do you gain as joining the IATF community? You have a branding rights at the events. You can access over 1,000 buyers. You can access over 1,000 exhibitors that will be present and over 10,000 visitors. You can generate sales leads. You can launch new products, enter new market, raise brand awareness, develop and maintain relationship. Of course, size up your competition. Lastly, we're working across the continent with key partners that include the African Development Bank. We're working with UNECA, the United Nations Economic Commission, as you can see on the screen. What do we need from you? You can follow us on our social media. We are very active on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Twitter. Secondly, you can sign up on the IATF virtual platform and attend some of our virtual events. You can book your exhibition stand by seeing me after this presentation, and you can become a sponsor and also register as a delegate. You can contact our customer service team. They can help you with any question that you may have, and of course, you can go onto our website to get more information. Africa is talking business. Of course, we would like Nigeria, the biggest economy in Africa, to be part of it. You can go now and register to be part of the conversation on www.intraafricatradeffair.com. I thank you all for your listening. Thank you. I'll take it.
Thank you very much, Papi. So, he said it all. If you want to be an exhibitor, see Papi. Visitor, see Papi. And any other way you would like to get involved, please see Papi right after this. So, we mentioned earlier, one of the important verticals at the IATF is the youth startup. And we would like to show you a short video now to just give you a sense of what the Youth Startup Pavilion is all about. So, please turn your attention to the screen.
At this momentous time in Africa's proud history, the inaugural year of the African Continental Free Trade Area, the dawn of the single market era for goods and services across 55 countries, the Intra-African Trade Fair, IATF 2021, comes to Durban, KwaZulu-Natal, South Africa. From the 15th to the 21st of November 2021, public and private sector leaders from across the continent and beyond will gather to play their part in unlocking Africa's full potential under the conference theme, Building Bridges for a Successful AFCFTA. No other event will bring more professionals together under one roof or do more to boost Africa's trade. IATF 2021 is expected to facilitate trade and investment deals in excess of $40 billion by attracting over 1,100 exhibitors, 5,000 conference participants, and more than 10,000 visitors and buyers from over 55 African countries. Among the most exciting and popular attractions will be the IATF 2021 Youth Startup Pavilion, an unmissable opportunity for Africa's young entrepreneurs to showcase their innovations, business ideas, products and services, and share experiences with their peers. With participants drawn from across the continent, the goal for the pavilion is to help accelerate the development of startups and their innovations to promote value addition, industrialization, and job creation. The innovations presented will also focus on providing solutions for SME growth and trade development. To be an exhibitor or sponsor at the IATF 2021 Youth Startup Pavilion, send your inquiry today to customer service at intra-africantradefair.com. IATF 2021 is brought to you by Afrexim Bank in collaboration with the African Union and the AFCFTA Secretariat, and hosted by the province of KwaZulu-Natal and the Republic of South Africa, with the support of our official event partners.
There you have it, the Youth Startup Pavilion, a key part of the IATF 2021. We have quite a few youth in the room. You will certainly want to get connected to that. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are rounding things up now. And just before I call on our last speaker, which I guarantee you will be a very short closing remark, I want you to also please stay for a short announcement concerning lunch. I have some information for you about lunch, so please just stick around for that. You've stuck around this long, so you might as well just stick around another 5 minutes or so. So please, if you can, just welcome the Regional Chief Operating Officer for Anglophone West Africa at the Afrexim Bank. Please welcome Mr. Eric Monchu Intong as he comes to deliver some closing remarks and a vote of thanks. Please, a round of applause for him. I know the energy level has dropped, but please, thank you very much.
Wale, thank you very much. Mine is very simple. I've just been called to say two things, to thank you all and to say bon appetit. But before I say that, please allow me to acknowledge and thank some of the people who have made all what we're doing today possible. We're very honored to have the pioneer president, Dr. Christopher Edodu. I know he doesn't like to be called doctor. He's very humble. He started this whole dream, and that's why we're gathered here today. President, please, I want to personally thank you for coming. We reached out to him only a few days ago, and he is here present with us. Our Executive Vice President, Dr. Josh Lombi, our Managing Director, all established protocol. I want to thank all the participants who've made it here. Nigeria is the biggest economy of Africa. We decided to leave this one as the last roadshow in gearing up to go into Durban come 15 to 21 November 2021. And you will see that we are doing it in a big style. We are all convinced, those who are on the age to register and participate and as well as sponsor, I think they have now made up their mind. We encourage all of you to register and participate and of course sponsor, because our destiny as Africans is in our hands. We cannot outsource it. We're born into people doing things for us. Our forefathers, as our president always tells us, fought for political independence, intra-African trade, and the intra-African trade fair is going to fight and deliver us economically. So let's all be present in South Africa. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ntong. All right, and again, I want to echo the sentiment. Thank you so much for showing up today. The next stop is in Durban, KwaZulu-Natal, South Africa. I look forward to seeing you there. It should be a great event. 5,000 delegates, well over 1,100 people will be delivering exhibitions. You certainly want to be part of that. Concerning lunch, lunch is served, and now I'm sure many of us have seen the Squid Games. There is, if you take a look in your pack, you should see a card like this. It could either be red or black, sorry, red or green. So it's not red light or green light this time, but everyone has a green light. But those with the red, with the one printed in red, for the Lantana hall, it's right outside this hall, so you just make your way out here, and it's on the other side. Oh, I'm so sorry. I have to get my ducks in a row. Actually, Lantana is right up there. So Lantana is right up here. The ballroom is right out there. So please check what you have, and please make your way to the correct room. We're doing this in consideration of the protocol relating to COVID, so please cooperate with us as we do that so we don't have a crowd in either section. So thank you so much again for showing up, and we look forward to seeing you in Durban. Have a great afternoon.